Good evening, YouTube. Good evening. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa 914, Westchester County, New York, coming to you with another live video. And as you saw the title, a Virginia nurse was caught after 2 years of breaking the bones of newly born black babies. Her name is Elizabeth Ann Stroutman. Elizabeth Ann Stroutman, a Virginia nurse, a white woman from Virginia, a young woman, for over 2 years, went in certain units in the hospital that those newly born black babies were at, and she broke their bones. She broke their bones. She's being charged with child abuse, malicious acts towards children. But I think it should go deeper than that. I think the charges should be more serious, because this is a serious thing that happened in Virginia. And she did this from 2023 to 2024. She attacked 4 babies in 2023, and she did it again in 2024. 7 babies, 7 newborn black babies. She went to where they were at in the hospital, in the unit that they was at, and broke their bones. Everyone knows what happens when children get injured or anything like that happens. The children are in constant pain. Constant pain. And this happened in Virginia. This happened in Virginia. There is a killing clause that they had, a killing clause act in 1669 that told those devils that they would be excused for killing black children. I'm sure this is not an isolated incident. I'm sure this has happened many times before. Shout out to the chat. Thank you, Letitia. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support of the channel. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my camera and I'm going to show you a picture of this animal. Now, this story was brought to my attention by one of my subscribers. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. And I just couldn't be silent. I just can't be silent when it comes to this. So I'm going to turn on my camera real quick and I'm going to show you what this woman looked like. Let's see what this animal looks like. I'm going to show you in my other phone. This is the woman that is accused of doing these terrible crimes. We know how Virginia get down. We know how the South get down. And this is a young woman. This ain't no old bitch. This is a young, savage animal. Look at her. Real close. Zoom in. Screenshot. Shout out to the chat. When I got this story today, and I received it through a text message from one of my subscribers. Everyone is welcome to hit the link because we need to talk about this. We need to talk about what's going on in this country. And I'm so tired and sick of it. Black people have been fighting for their lives ever since they came to this fucking country. Those that have been here have been fighting for their lives. Not civil rights, not human rights, but the right to live. The right to be free. The right to be happy. Oh, I'm pissed. I am pissed. Yeah. My thing is, Letitia, how did the hospital that she was employed at not know what the fuck was going on? We talking about Virginia now. We ain't talking about South Carolina. We're not talking about Mississippi. We talking about Virginia, where they first shipped a lot of the African slaves to this country during slavery. Slavery started in this country, I believe, in 1619. Earlier in other parts of the world, not too far from America. A shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Well, we know the story is deeper, and we're going to talk about it tonight. You're welcome to hit the link if you like. I'm really waiting for my subscriber that shared this to me to come in and join us this evening. She shared this to me before 4:30 this afternoon. I didn't know what time I was going to get home because I'm always running late. I'm always running behind because I don't drive. I take public transportation. I had a long day today. I worked all the day today, but tonight is the night we're going to talk about racism in this country. We're going to talk about how it affects us, how nothing is being done, how with some of us are being accused of being racist because we want our reparations, we want our rights, we want our land, we want what is rightfully ours, what rightfully belongs to us. And this is not the first time this has happened to children, Black children. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. We've been going through this for many, many years in this country. It needs to be fucking addressed. That's all I'm saying. Yep. This is a hate crime. This is a hate crime. I believe this year passed, they finally passed the Emmett Till law. Too late. Too late. $1 late, a day short. Too fucking late. I'm so sick of them and their fucking apologies. These weak weasel apologies that the government been given. They have yet to acknowledge the evil they have done to us, from slavery, Jim Crow, all the way to fucking now. You know how many black people in this country have been lynched? You know how many black children have been murdered and killed by the same people that have been oppressing us ever since we've been here? Ever since we fucking been here. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. Well, the link is dropped. Let me drop it again. So anyone that wants to hit it, they can hit it and we can have a conversation, because a conversation needs to happen. I'm just doing a conversation on my end, but I know more needs to happen than conversations, than talk, than words. I don't have any children, but I know how I would feel if somebody did that to my kid. I have brothers and sisters that have children. I remember a few years ago, we went to the hospital so my sister could have her first baby ever. And let me tell you something. We went through a lot of shit with that too. These nurses, these people that are in authority, tell you, they're like mad dogs, really. They are like mad dogs. This woman is a mad dog. She's not a person. I think I shared a video the other night where I was talking about the racism that is present in this country. How they haven't done anything to address the evils that they did. The evil that they did, not only to us, but to other groups of people as well. They even attack their own selves. But we are talking about our community. We talking about our children. That's what we talking about. I feel you. I'm pissed. I'm trying to hold back my anger. And the only thing I wanted to do when I got home was to eat me something. Because I didn't eat lunch all day. That's the only thing I wanted to do. I didn't want to do anything else but eat and do this video. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the people that are in here. Shout out to the people that are in here and those that support this channel. I believe the hospitals were protecting her and they need to be held liable. Absolutely. Absolutely. Add the stage. There you go. What's up, Letitia? Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey. Hey,
What
Arabia.
you? How you doing, baby? A happy New Year to you.
I'm cooking, and I got the little one in the shower, so I can talk for a minute. But this shit got me outraged. This is some old slavery shit right here. This is some stuff they used to do back when the slaves had babies.
Mm-hmm.
They would do stuff like this to see how much they could get away with without either us, like the women, um, having pain, or just to practice on us. So they would perform these type of rituals and these type of savage like behaviors on us. They would practice these type of torture methods just to see how far they could go. Like they break bones right now. If your child's born with a deformity of a leg, like a foot that's deformed or something, they might break it to put it right, after the baby's born. I had a cousin whose son was born with his foot tucked, the wrong way. So they did have to go in and break it, but under anesthesia. This bitch is probably doing it right there while they in the damn NICU. Is from what I read on the article. She's not performing anesthesia. So, and maybe the babies had pain medicine or something, but they're still human beings. They're still human beings, and they can still feel. And I don't know what she did to keep them from crying. Who knows what she was doing? Smothering them. Who knows how many children died in her care? So they're going to have to go back on all her records of every child that she took care of to see if there's any other patterns. But that hospital should be held liable for this. This is an atrocity. We're talking 2024. This probably who knows how long she was doing this shit to the black babies.
2 years. She had 7. According to the reports, it's 7 victims, 7 children, 7 babies, newborns.
Mm-hmm.
Malicious intent. As far as I'm concerned, she was trying to kill him.
Yeah. Was she ever attacked for a hospital working with children or babies? Some nurses I started as a tech, a CNA. Was she ever that? We don't know. They need to find out. 7, it might not be 7. It could be more than that. We just might know a crust of it,
I believe, yep, I agree with you. I agree with you on this.
On to Arabia. And people want to sit up and tell folks, oh, y'all need to forget about this. Y'all ain't no racism. People, they don't hate. Everybody don't hate. It's a group of people who hate folks. That's just what it is.
That's her.
She's a European colonizer who's doing the bidding of her people. It's in their DNA. And you did this to babies who are defenseless. They used to throw our babies to crocodiles.
Absolutely.
You got people who are just oblivious, like this stuff don't happen no more. Why y'all get upset, or why do you still talk about it? And reparations ain't gonna heal nothing. That's just to make up for what you made my people work for that didn't get paid. That ain't compensating for the deaths and atrocities that you put our people through. My ancestors picked cotton, fed their babies from their breasts. I mean, you're not making up for nothing with no damn money.
I know that.
This is crazy.
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to scammers, scoundrels, and scallywags. Thank you for coming in. Letitia, and you said it, you hit it right on the nail. You hit it right on the fucking nail. I'm trying to control myself because I know how irate I can get and nasty and how I feel about them. I always felt that about them. Try to hide it, but can't hide it because I know the truth about them. Been knowing. Knowing. Hey, Khadijah, what's up?
It's in the DNA, man. And how old is she? She's probably what, 30? She looks probably 40.
They said now, according to the report, she's 26.
She's 26.
According to the report, she did this when she was 26 years old. She was in her 20s, her late 20s when she did this.
So that's when she started. or that's when she stopped?
It started
So
2 years.
6, so she's what, 20, 26? She did it for 7 years. When did it stop? So she started.
No, she has 7 victims. According to the report, she has 7 victims. This carried on for 2 years. Can nobody in their right mind tell me that hospital did not know what the fuck was going on? They knew what the fuck was going on.
That's why that father said he didn't want to hold his son or his child because he didn't want them blaming it. How do you feel? How would you feel if you couldn't hold your child because you don't know if somebody did something to your child and you don't want to be held liable? This is your child in the NICU who needs to be held. They need it more than any other children. They need to be that bonding, that skin to skin. Even the men, they tell them,
Mm-hmm.
put the baby on your skin, put skin to skin. That helps them to heal. Because those babies are so small, they need that. It's something about it, the skin to skin, that helps them, and they feel the parent's heartbeat and everything. So
Right.
it's yeah. And he didn't even want to hold his own child. And money ain't gonna fix that. They can send them, give them money or whatever, and put her in prison, but that's not gonna fix the trauma that she put on those families. So
Right.
yeah, I hope
What?
she every bit of life. I don't care if it's just broken bones. She should get life for
Yep.
the children that she touched. And who knows? I don't know how many. They say 7. Who knows? She could have did other stuff that we don't know about.
That's
Those are
what I'm
small
thinking
that
about.
you can see on an X-ray.
Yep.
What
It's
about the
probably
she might have given children that she wasn't supposed to give, or overdosing? We don't know, because those hospitals will try to hide that just so they can save their ass.
yep. They don't want to be sued. They
Yeah.
don't want to be sued, and they don't want to be held liable. Somebody has to be held liable. Somebody. Somebody. I'm sorry about that. That's my alarm going on. But somebody needs to be held liable for this. I believe it was malicious intent.
Oh
It's
yeah.
more than just child abuse. I believe this was a direct act of trying to kill someone. More than one person.
Who knows what this savage woman was really up to? And like Willie D said, sometimes this is their way to um almost like a rite of passage for some of these people. It's a rite
I
of
know
passage
that's right.
for them to hurt or harm um black people, and then they get in good. Shoot, that she'll have people covering her lawyer fees just because they she did it to just black children. Now if it's black and white, she ain't getting no help, but because she did just harmed black children, she'll have the KKK sending her all kinds of money. Look at George Zimmerman. They just
Mm-hmm.
made sure he was taken care of, and they usually come together for these purposes. They'll make sure that they have the funds, so when she goes to court, she'll have a top-notch lawyer. They're going to probably claim something. She was depressed, or she can't have children, so she went after black children. But why black children? So you can't even, to me, there's no insanity there, because you pick the specific children to do this to.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna
But
get
you,
off. I gotta get my baby
I
fed for
feel.
dinner, and he just got out the shower, so I know he'll come in here and start making a noise. But thank you for letting me up. I'm glad you let me speak on this, and I'll be in the chat, Arabia. Thank you again for bringing this to the attention of the sector.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for coming up.
Yes, ma'am. Peace out.
All right. Shout out to Letitia. Shout out to the chat. I really want Khadijah, if you can you please hit the link, because you was the one that brought it to my attention, and I know you have a lot to say. And I do, and this is how I feel. I believe there's certain books, there's certain laws on the books that have never, ever been erased. That those laws are still there. Those acts are still there. This happened in Virginia. They have a killing clause act in Virginia. It started in 1669. There's a lot of laws on these books that people need to start looking at, start questioning, and it needs to be more action done for this particular case. For this particular case, period. Period. Yeah, but it's crazy. It's really crazy. Anyone else want to hit the link? Gonna have this discussion. This animal name, this savage name that did this to these children. Her name is Elizabeth Ann Strootman. This was a nurse from Virginia. She was going around for 2 years doing this to Black children, newborns, helpless babies. And just like Letitia said, she said back in the day, they used to take those children and feed them to the crocodiles, feed them to the alligators. They used to do so much dirt and evil. And it needs to be talked about. We need to start talking about it. Because the more we sweep things under the rug or try to pretend it's not happening or pretend it didn't happen, the more problems we're going to have in our community, in our world. There'll never be no peace. Never be no peace. That's why certain groups or certain people that came during the time, course time, and different times in history used to tell us, build your own hospitals, build your own schools. Do for self. Don't rely on the enemy to do anything for you, because they're not going to treat you right. They're not going to treat you fair. It's always going to be some weak weasel apology. Why? Watch. It's going to be a weak weasel apology coming. And then they're going to say, well, this didn't really happen. Yes, it did happen. It happened. And we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. Oh, child, Letitia. She go to prison in Virginia. Oh, those women, they're going to block her off. She's going to be cut off from so much. She's going to be, and I wouldn't put it past one of those inmates to actually do her. See, when I was locked up and we was faced with women that did stuff to children, there was a way they used to do things. They didn't, sometimes they wasn't physically attacked, but they were attacked in other ways. And their lives were a living hell in there. And I don't mean no harm. I wish the female institutions, the correctional institutions, were more like the male correctional institutions, where these people would be cut down like the tree that they are. I would love to see them be cut down. Oh, Lord, y'all just don't know. Yes, those acts are present. I've heard of that law, Arabia. Yep. And those laws are still on the fucking books, where it says it's okay for Black people to be murdered. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. And I'm sick of it. I don't want to see no protesting. I don't want nobody walking down the street with no sign in their fucking hand. We need to do what we should have did. We should have did during the 60s. That's what we should do. If anybody else want to come up and hit the link is dropped. Let me drop the link again. We can drop this link one more time because I want people to have a chance to come up and, talk. Do what you need to do. Because me per se, I can't wrap my head around why anybody would want to hurt a child, an innocent newborn baby. And I don't mean no harm, y'all. We are at war. We are in a guerrilla warfare for our lives, our souls, our families. Whatever we have, we are at war to claim what the fuck is ours. We are made in the image of God, God himself. Nobody has the right to do anything to anyone in that respect. And this she's not a woman, she's a creature. She's a savage. She's a Dr. Yaku. Descent of Dr. Yaku. A lot of people don't know who Dr. Yaku is. Y'all better start paying attention when I start talking. Especially when I talk about race relations in this fucking country. And a lot of people say, well, Arabia is a racist. How the fuck am I racist? I don't own anything. I don't own no boats. I don't own no airplanes. I don't own no land. I can't make a decision where I can hire people or fire people or make people's lives miserable. I don't have the power. Absolutely. That's who I'm talking about. But anyone else want to hit the link? And me personally, I would like to hear other YouTube creators talk about this. Those that are in the sector, I know what kind of sector this is, but sometimes in this sector, people can get so serious. And I would like to hear more from the other YouTube creators. I would like to hear more. Because maybe if there's a conversation going on, maybe we could come up with some kind of, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. This country is too far gone. But like I said, we have been at war ever since we got here. Some of us have been here way before the slave ships ever came. But when those other people came, they didn't come to be friendly. They came to conquer. And those that they could not conquer, those they cannot silence, they choose to exterminate and vanquish. They don't know anything else. They're creatures of habit. It's going to be a long night, you guys. We got a long road ahead of us. Long and bumpy road in this life. I'm 51 years old and I'm just trying to wrap my head around how this could have happened. How the hospital authorities didn't know. They know everything else. They know when people are smoking in the bathroom. They know when people are coming in the hospital doing things they ain't supposed to be doing. But they don't know how this woman was able to get away with this for over a year, doing it to all these little babies, hurting these little children. It is disgusting. It is awful. I don't have any other words for it. And they used to experiment on us during slavery, during Jim Crow. They fixed it where they sterilized the women that they hated in this country. They was practicing eugenics way before the Nazis ever did the dumb shit they did. I know that's right. That's right, Khadijah. They did it to Fannie Lou Hamer. They sterilized Fannie Lou Hamer and plenty of other women. And they sterilized her because she went down there to register to vote. She went down there, she spoke up about what the police did to her. Even though Fannie Lou Hamer died years ago, I remember I played her speeches. I played the speeches of Winnie Mandela. I read about Sister Clara Muhammad, Sister Dora, all the women that have came, spoke their truth, and did their duty for our people. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Yep. You got that right. You got that right. Yeah. You know, when I was growing up in New York, and I don't mean no harm, because I grew up in the system. And I was in foster care for 10 years. But there are women I have met around my age, maybe a little bit younger, and those women were sterilized. You know why they were sterilized? Because some of them were in group home settings. They laughed too loud. They talked too much. So what did they do? They either lobotomized them or sterilized them. That's what they did. Those that laughed too loud and those that talked too much, they destroyed their womb. They destroyed their sense of self. They wanted those women to be quiet. It's ridiculous. It's shameful. It's disgusting. And me personally, I'm 51, getting ready to be 52. I am sick and tired of it. Day after day, week after week, month after month, I'm hearing these stories. I'm reading these stories about different children going through different circumstances, which is unnecessary. Too many people have died just because they chose to live. They chose to be who they are. And some people didn't like it. Sometimes it's not necessarily the color of your skin, but in this case, it's the color of the skin. We at war. And we gonna be at war for quite some time. I don't know when it will stop. when racism will die. I don't know when prejudice will die. I don't know. I have no, but I'm going to ask God about it. I'm going to ask God about it. That's the only thing I can do. And Khadijah says, I was raised in the foster care system too, Arabia. Group homes, residential, therapeutic, foster homes, mental hospital, and respite homes, etc. Our children are vulnerable. Basically, that's telling me, and this is happening generation after generation, our children are vulnerable to being attacked, abused, and murdered. Our children. I'm not concerned about the other communities. I'm not. I'm concerned about the community I was born in, I was raised in. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming in and typing in and supporting this channel. And maybe more of us need to talk about it, or you can share this live, share it. Share it. Maybe a conversation will happen sometime soon. I'm hoping one of the other female YouTube creators will cover this. Yeah. But I want to thank everyone for coming in. And those that didn't hit the link, I understand. I understand. You know, sometimes you can't air everything what you think and what you feel. And I know I said I'm gonna slow down doing videos after my birthday, but I might have to continue to be here. I'm just doing, do important stories every now and then. Just have discussions, have conversations, because I don't know about you, but I feel like we are by ourselves on this note. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I want to thank everyone for coming in. Like and share this video. Let's get a conversation going on. Let's get some discussions going on. Let's bring in other female YouTube creators in this sector. Perhaps Moonlight might cover it. Perhaps Brown Skin Lady. I don't know. I don't know who's going to cover it. I don't know who's going to say anything. But as outspoken as some of these females in this sector are, I believe there'll be a few others. There'll be a few others. So shout out to all of you. Thank you for coming in. I hope everyone has an awesome night. And be encouraged. Don't be discouraged. Well, my mother used to always say, she said, when you think people are sleeping, they're not. They're watching you. And the universe is watching everything that's going on. everything. Why you think so much destruction is happening in this country? Not only with the finances, but with the weather. Remember now, in this country, we get tornadoes, we get hurricanes, we get earthquakes. And karma is a bitch. So when that animal gets locked up, when that savage get locked up, when that creature gets locked up, her whole life is getting ready to change. The way she look in that picture, she ain't gonna look like that in the next 5 years. I guarantee she's not gonna look like that. Shout out to the chat. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Like and share the video.